Welcome to Justin Trading Company. We're here to talk about our comic unit. A lot of people have been asking about how the hell we did with the comics that we got. We sent a lot of comics out to CGC and CBCS to get graded. But in the meantime, we sent a lot of comics off to auction raw. And these were all Golden Age comics and high value comics. I don't know. I'm going to have to ask you guys, put in the comments, did we make a mistake by selling these raw? Should we have sold them, after we got them graded? I don't know. But there's going to be a mixture here of raw comics and graded comics. But this is us letting you know how we did. So, our first comic that we sent to auction was a Action Comics number 26. Now this is 26 issues in to the introduction of Superman. This is dated 1940 July, and this is Action Comics number 26. Now when we got this comic, it looked like it was in mint condition. We were so happy about this comic.
That's why we sent it in, because we're like, this is at least gonna come back as a 7, maybe an 8.
Yeah,
we'd be happy with a 9. And
this could be a $10,000 comic all by itself. But so it, as you can see, it came back
restored
as a CGC restored grade. There was a little bit of minor color touched onto the cover. It came back as a restored grade 7.0 C2, and drum roll please, this sold at auction for $22.74, which was a hell of a lot less than we were expecting out of this comic.
I think we expected at least $5,000, so it's sold for half the value. But you know what?
It is what it is.
We had some that sold for way higher than what we valued at, so
I'll tell you what.
Evens out.
I'll tell you what. We had 20 bids on this item, and 10 of those bids came within the last 2 seconds of the auction. I think the auction was sitting at $1,100.
$1,100
with 1 second left, and then all of a sudden, in the last second, got up to $22.74. So I'm okay with that, because it came back as a restored item, but it was definitely a learning lesson. So our next comic that we're going to be talking about is,
we got Captain America number 9, another restored copy, which is not really what we wanted, but it is what it is. It's a C1, so at least it's not a C2. Came back as a 4.0. We got Captain America number 9. A little bit of writing on cover. What else do we have here? We got writing on cover. We have small amount of glue on spine of the cover. And color touch on cover, which is pretty normal.
Well, I'll tell you what. We've got a lot of early Captain Americas that we threw up for auction. This is number 9. This is an early Captain America. And just so, if you're a collector out there, you already know. But for those that aren't collectors, the early Captain America stuff, number 9,
0 through 100.
Those are really rare. They're hard to come by.
It's worth money.
So we sent this one in to get graded. It came back as a restored grade 4.0.
Yeah.
I will let you do the drum roll. What did this come out at auction?
It's gonna be $2,700 exactly. Now I think we valued this, $2,000. So we got $700 more than what we planned. So money in the bank.
Well, the problem was, this particular comic has not come up for auction in like 2 or 3 years. So there wasn't a whole lot of valuation to go by. And Captain America comics, especially the Golden Age stuff, has been increasing in value
very much,
exponentially over the last 5 years. So a lot of the comics that you're going to see here are market setting precedents, meaning that these are highest value that these comics have gotten in the last 5 years. So we were pretty happy to get that out of this one.
And I want to say the earliest Captain America we have is number 5. And we're currently selling that right now on auction. on our eBay
We're going to
website.
get to that in a minute. We'll have photographs
Just saying,
of
we
that
got
one.
number 9, but if you want some even earlier, number 5, we got that too.
We have
signed.
number 5, but it's signed, and I'm not. Just wait till the end. We're going to be talking about Captain America number 5. It's in auction right now. It's signed by an artist.
Otto Binder.
Don't
Otto
even
Binder?
don't even say it. Don't even say it. We'll get to that. But anyways, our next comic we're going to talk about is Captain America number 16. Now, we sent this off for grading at CGC, and this one did not come back as a restored item. This came back as a 4.0 universal grade, and this is an early Captain America number 16. This features...
The Red Skull and Captain America.
Yeah, exactly. And so...
Damn.
This particular comic,
I forgot about that one.
36 bids came in on this one. And I want to say in the last minute of the auction, we were sitting at around $4,500. In the last 30 seconds of the auction, it went from $4,500 up to $6,760.
Now look at the difference from Blue Label versus Purple Label.
Yes, I wish all
saying?
of them were blue labels. The universal grade added to this.
My
This was
God.
only a 4.0, 36 bids.
So that
on
got
this one.
3 times the value of number 9. And remind you, this is an older comic. Or, I'm sorry, a newer comic than number 9. But because it was a blue label, made the value much
Huge.
higher. Even though number 9 is more of a rare and more desired comic, the blue and purple labels do matter. So just want to put that in there.
Absolutely. So are we ready for the next comic?
Let's get to it.
All right. So our next comic is...
We got Captain America, another Captain America, number 19. We have restored copy 5.0. That's a C2, so it is a heavy restored. Looks like for the restoration, we have small amount of color touch, which is pretty common, and pieces added to cover. So that's what probably made it a C2. It looks like a very beautiful comic.
Just gorgeous.
Very, very great condition. And this one features the Human Torch. And I think we said we're going to get $2,000 for this one.
I wasn't sure what we'd get for this one, to be honest.
Now let's
but I will say this comic, from my research, had not come up for auction since like
Pretty rare one.
2018 was the last time this comic came up for auction. So, with 5 years between comic auctions, between this particular issue, who knows what the hell it's going to sell for. So, what did it sell for?
Let's see. $16.89. So we didn't get our evaluated estimate of $2,000, but you know what? Someone in their collection got a very nice comic, and hopefully they can hold on to it and it can be invested in the future.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
But
There was 16 bids, and again, a lot of those bids came in at the last seconds of the auction.
But you know what? $1,600? I can't complain about that. That's
Hell no.
still money.
Okay, so this next comic, so this was from our first round of auctions. So this would have been early August
August 26th, 27th, I want to say.
for our first round of auctions.
Was it?
I think it was earlier, yeah.
No, that was our first CGC. Was August 26th.
Yeah, I
So it
want
was
to say
probably
August 6th or August 7th, I think is when it started.
First week of August.
So this was one that we delegated to having put into a raw state auction on eBay.
We just want to test the waters. This is one of the first rounds of comics we posted.
Right, yeah. So this is Captain America number 35. So we decided, you know what? We're not going to send this off to get graded. Let's go ahead and get the cash right now for this one. The one thing we did notice on the comic was in the top left-hand corner, it looked like there was some color restoration that was fairly noticeable that was done to it. But this was a World War II torture cover.
And that cover art's pretty damn cool.
Now, I'll tell you what, this particular Captain America, number 35, I could find no history of selling on eBay, and really nothing of this comic that has sold within the last 10 years. So it was really hard for us to come up with any kind of evaluation.
And you know, when you can't find a comic for sale or one's been sold recently on eBay, you've got money.
You've got to throw it into auction because you have no idea.
You've got money. If you've got something you can find all day long, you know, it's pretty common, but you want the rare stuff, which we got tons of. And remember, we paid $50 for this unit.
Yeah, exactly.
$50 too much.
So, yeah, we had no idea what this was going to sell for, so we went ahead and threw it into a raw comic auction on eBay. This sold for $1,526. We graded it as a VG condition, so probably a 3.0.
I think you said we'd get $800.
Came back as $1,526.
Almost double.
Now, trust me, Justin, either this is going into a private collection or we're going to see the same auction,
Up for sale.
This same comic coming up for sale, either through Heritage or through eBay, in a graded condition, going for a lot more money.
You know, if you guys think we made the mistake by selling it raw, go ahead and leave it in the comments, but I think $1,500 is pretty fair for number 35, considering it's raw condition. You know, we didn't pay any CGC fees, just photographed it, slapped it on eBay, and sold it. So you let us know what you think it's worth, graded. If you think it come back as restored, universal, let us know what you think. I'm very curious.
All right, our next comic.
We have Captain America, another Captain America, number 50. Now this one's a little beat up. You have a missing corner, top left corner piece, a little bit of writing on cover, and this is another raw comic we sold in our first rounds of the raw comics.
Yeah.
This is, I want to say we valued this around $500, if that, because of the condition of it.
I mean, it's a number 50, and mind you, we are not comic experts, but...
No, we just started learning all of the comic stuff recently, so everything we learned is new, which is good.
Right. Now we're a lot more... So this is number 50, Captain America. This is a Golden Age comic. Yeah, there was some issues to the cover, but...
Almost $900. So
yeah, $898 at auction with how many bids?
Got about 21 bids.
21 bids. So for a comic that's not in great condition, we labeled this as a good condition.
I'd say our guess is pretty well. I mean,
yeah. I'm happy.
I'm not too far off with our guesses.
21 bids, $898, and there was a lot of bids at the very end here. And the people that got these comics, we got great reviews from. They were really happy.
We shipped them out professionally. We watched tons of videos on how to ship comics. I mean, we did the research. You know, my dad and I go over the notch to make sure we take care and preserve the merchandise we get, and that we send it off and it comes to your house the same way that is photographed. So
what's the next comic we got up? Oh,
you got this one.
All right, we got Captain America number 52. Now this is part of the original first round of auctions that we did. We sold this one raw. And I kind of wish that we didn't, to be honest, dude.
That's a nice looking one. I want to say easily a 5.
There was a little bit of writing right on the America, on the R, on the front cover, but overall, I mean, the front cover looked really good. There may have been a little bit of restoration work done at the top left-hand corner that I noticed, but this comic, we had 15 bids, sold for $1,790.
And that jumped up at the last second by lots of money.
Yeah, and by all means, this is a fine or fine plus in condition wise. And the person that bought it sent us an instant feedback, once he received it, saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because let's be honest, number 52, Captain America,
it's pretty rare.
It doesn't come up for auction at all. I mean, to be honest.
I mean, if you take this Captain America number 54 and we go back 5 years, the value of that is way less. Am I wrong?
Oh, you mean Captain America number 52, the one we were just talking about.
Oh, well, I just gave
Well,
one.
he already let you know.
What?
The next comic that we're going to be talking about
I did.
is Captain America number 54. So this is 2 issues later. And this is one that we sent off to get graded because it was in such good condition. So we sent this off to CGC, and we knew that this was a high-grade comic and an early comic of Captain America. However, it came back as a CGC restored C1, so minor amount of color touch to the cover, but a 7.0 all the same.
Yeah.
And this is a gorgeous cover.
And it's pretty good looking.
Yeah, it's a good looking cover, man.
It has the gloss on it and everything.
Yeah, the original gloss was there, and it's there's so much going on in the cover. It's a good looking cover. This sold on eBay at auction for $1,600 with 15 bids, and a lot of those bids again coming in at the very last few moments of the auction. Had this not have been a restored grade, if this had been a universal grade, I do believe we could have probably gotten around $7,000 to $8,000 to $9,000 for this comic. So,
and figured someone can possibly turn that into a universal, but it's going to be a much low number, like a 4 or a 3.5. But you know what? People who buy this stuff, they may be trying to get it to a blue label. They may just want to keep it the way it is. They may just want to add it to their collection. There's so many things people buy these comics for. I'm just really curious to see what the exact reason is. I'm always curious.
So our next comic that we're going to talk about is...
We got Captain America, number 78. And this one looks like we sold as a raw condition. We have some writing on the cover. Looks like someone penciled in some numbers in the top left corner. Looks like it has some wear in it. It's been definitely worn down a little bit. So it was not worth sending in. But let's go ahead and see what we got for this guy.
So let's talk about the cover real quick. So on this one, this is a very political cover that we're talking about here. So this is number 78. I don't remember exactly which year this is, but if you notice his chief adversary here, he's got the hammer and sickle, which is the Russian communist sickle, and then Captain America is throwing this guy who's in gray uniform who has the hammer and sickle. So this is basically
about the communists.
America fighting the communists. So I would probably think that this is
the commie smasher is what it's called. Captain America commie smasher.
Defy the communist horde. So I mean, I would think, without even looking to the next page, that this would be about like the Korean War, which was between 1941, 1951, 1953, I think. So let's take a look.
We got
1954.
1,400 for it. Yep, 1954.
Wow. Right, 1,400 for an ungraded comic that was in good plus to VG condition, VG minus condition. I'm all for that. I think we did great on this one.
I think we did good. I mean, we only paid $50 for the unit.
But mind you, when we listed this comic, there was no precedence to, even set it against. At that time, in the last 90 days on eBay, this comic had not sold in the last 90 days. There was none up for auction, none up for sale, so there was really nothing to go by.
Just like the most of our comics, and I'll take that, because like I said, if you can't find it that's been sold recently, that's money.
So are you ready for the next comic?
We got more?
We do.
What do we got? Now, this is one of my favorite ones. We got the Marvel Comics, number 47. And we got the Human Torch. Is this the first introduction of the Human Torch?
I don't remember. But
I don't think it's the first introduction.
But this is Marvel Mystery Comics number 47.
Oh, Mystery Comics.
Yeah, from
Marvel
September
Mystery Comics.
1947.
But it has a Human Torch on it. About $1,000.
And it's got a Nazi cover to it. So, I mean, this was done in 1943. This is deep into World War II.
What makes a Nazi cover?
So when you look at the cover, down along the bottom you see swastikas, you see a bunch of Yeah, so this is a World War II, and this
Pretty
is
cool.
this is the Human Torch. You know, basically demolishing a dam in Germany. So 1943, this was done like really during the peak of World War II. So this is heavily propaganda during, inside the novel. Um, it's a rare comic, and those people that do have this comic, they don't give it up. So this is another one of those rare comics that does not hit the market because the collectors that have this comic, they're not giving it up.
Mm-mm.
So this hit the market. We graded this as a VG minus to good plus, and even with those, issues, it still sold for $998. Just under $1,000 is what it sold for with 22 bids. I think we had like 180 watchers on this particular comic. It just goes to show you that, you don't know. Sometimes the content of the cover, if it's geopolitically related, can go for a lot more money.
All right, and for the next one, we got...
This is the one everybody wanted. This is our big heavy hitter. This is Journey into Mystery number 83 from August 1962. This is the first comic that introduces Thor.
It's Big Hammer.
And this is not only a key issue, this is a mega key issue that every collector wants in their collection.
Heavy hitter.
So we sent this in, and luckily this did not come back as a restored comic. This came back as a Universal 3.0. Let us introduce you to it. So this is it. Journey into Mystery number 83, 12-cent comic, 3.0 Universal grade from CGC. And let's just say the bidding got kind of crazy. Now, mind you, we were expecting anywhere from $10,000 to $13,000 for this comic, based upon what market value was.
Selling for.
So we sent this up for auction. There was 18 bids on this. Very little towards the end,
Which kind of sucked because, at the very end, you're kind of expecting it to jump up real big, and, you have high anticipation, and then when it's really slow, you're just like, what kind of sucks?
Yeah, well, based
There's
upon the auctions that we had done earlier to this, we were expecting a big jump towards the end, but we didn't get that jump, and it ended up selling for $9,588.
Which is a good deal. That's a good deal.
Somebody got a really good deal. So the buyer of this was in Canada, and that opened up its own can of worms as far as how we can ship this, because the value of the item, we had to go outside of normal delivery options. We actually had to go directly through UPS.
Got insurance for it.
It's
$300 in insurance.
High value shipment. We ended up spending like $280 just to ship this item to verify that they had received it.
Which we recommend, because if you lose a comic that's worth $10,000, I'm sorry, that's gonna be
you're screwed.
That's gonna be pretty bad.
And if you don't have it insured or go through the proper methods to make sure and ensure that there's signature verification. So when you go through a high value signature verification program through UPS, there's actually a chain of custody form. So every person that has handled that package, they have to sign off for it, and they're personally responsible up until the very end, where the person that's signing off for it verifies that they've received it. So we spent, $290 to signature verify to Canada that this was being received. And we shipped it off.
Worth it.
$9,588 is what we got out of this. We were hoping of getting
at least 10,000.
At least 10 to 13,000, but it is what it is. Exactly. But I will say that we have another.
That's right.
We have another Journey into Mystery number
Another
83 that is up for auction right now. It's a 2.0 universal grade. I think bidding right now on it is up to $4,800, $5,000 right now. This will end next weekend. And it's a really good looking comic.
Now, I remember when we were going through the comics, when we first got this storage unit, we brought everything home. And I was going through the boxes, seeing what we had. He was on the phone with his mom. And I'm like, oh, look, Dad, we got this Journey to Mystery. You're like, hold on a minute, hold on a minute. I got to see this. And you look at it and you're so excited. You're like, dude, do you know how much this is worth? I'm like, I have no idea, because I had no clue what comics were worth. Then I pull out another one. He is jumping off the walls, excited, like, we got two of them. There's no way we got two of them.
And we
sure and shit, we got two of them, and they're all the original 12 centers, not the reprints. These are the 12 centers.
Yeah, so I mean, between the two comics, we're expecting to get like $16,000, $18,000 just for those two comics. So if you are watching this video early on, within a week, the 2.0 version of this Journey into Mystery number 83 original comic will be closing out on our website in auction
very soon.
I believe it's on Sunday the October 3rd, I think. October 2nd. I could be wrong. But anyways, keep an eye out for that. So we do want to share with you some other comics that we have, some really rare comics that are up for auction right now. So these are all comics that were signed.
And we sent off to CGCS for verification of signature, grading, and professional photography.
So we sent these off to CBCS.
Oh, CBCS.
CBCS. So,
my bad.
So
CBCS.
just so you know, if you're not in the comic community, so CGC will only guarantee signatures if they are signed within the presence of a CGC employee.
Gotcha.
And then sent immediately off to grading. So these comics that we had 3 comics that were signed by the original artists well before well before any kind of the grading process was ever put into place. And so we had to send these off to CBCS to get the signatures authenticated. And luckily, the 3 that we sent off all came back as CBCS guaranteed. These are the signatures of the original artists.
Captain America. I've already mentioned earlier, Captain America number 5. Now this is the earliest Captain America we found out of that abandoned storage locker. Came back as a restored 2.5, so we weren't very happy with the numbers, but we are happy that it is verified signature of Odo Binder. I want to say it's Binder or Binder, but it's verified, so it is a true, authentic signature by him. And this is already at, I believe, $1,500, $1,600.
Yeah, I think it's up to like $1,600 right now with another week to go. So Otto Binder was a key artist for Captain America and a key writer for Captain America in the very early inception of the Captain America series. I mean, this is before Stan Lee. This is before a lot of the other people. Otto Binder was one of the major. He was basically the OG of the comic industry, and this particular comic, Captain America number 5.
I mean, look at that. He's got the spin wheel of Captain America up there. He's got the mayor who's already getting captured. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is a Nazi cover with the Wheel of Doom.
Yeah.
With
cool.
the guy with the Nazi cover. I mean, this is a fantastic album that does not come up for auction hardly ever. When you do see it come up for auction, it's always through heritage auctions, and they command a huge amount of price.
$6-8 grand.
So yeah, this is a restored comic. We do want to let you know that it's slight amateur restoration, which probably means a slight amount of color attached to it.
Slightly brittle.
And this is going to be closing on our website, which will be
Soon.
listed in our YouTube channel. So look towards the bottom if you want to bid on this, because it will be ending soon. The next comic that we have up for auction that is currently in our auctions is House of Secrets number 92. Now, this is the first introduction of the Swamp Thing. And this one is autographed by Bernie Wrightson. I don't remember his name.
I think it's Bernie Wrightson.
Right, Bernie Wrightson on the first page. There are some other House of Secrets number 92 that are signed by Bernie Wrightson that have gone for some pretty big dollars. And this is a verified signature. So this came back as a 4.5 unrestored.
Blue label.
Blue label. Well, it's not a blue label because it's some CBCS. But anyways, 4.5 off-white. We do expect this one to reach at least $1,000 at auction.
Oh, at least.
So the next one we have up for auction.
We got The Avengers number 4. And this is a good old 12 center. This is back in 1964. This was first introduced. Came back as a restored 4.0 off-white to white pages. And we have a signature from Stan Lee on the first page. This is a very nice comic. I mean, you got the Daredevil, you got the Ant-Man, Captain America, Iron Man, the Thor. I mean, just all the great characters you want to see on the cover.
And you've got an early signature from Stan Lee.
Is Stan Lee still alive?
No, he passed away a few years ago.
Well, rest in peace, Stan Lee. But,
yeah, but this is a authenticated signature from Stan Lee on one of his comics, The Avengers number 4. This is, I believe, is this the annual edition?
No, it's just regular.
This is the regular.
Yeah.
So this is the
actual number 4.
Avengers number 4. Yeah. So
I know we had Avengers number 3 annual up for one sold.
Right. So this is a restored slight amateur restoration done on the cover. And this is up for auction right now. You can pick this up if you would like to add this to your collection.
It's currently at $450.
I think it's at $450. We expect it to reach over $1,000 easy.
We want to hope so.
We would like to hope so.
Like
I mean,
that.
Stan Lee's signature alone can fetch $400. So this, dude, pick it up. It's a great freaking comic. It looks great.
It does.
So anyways, we sold a lot more comics at auction, but these are the 11 comics that we wanted to bring to you so that you kind of have an idea of and an update as to what we're doing with the collection. So in the last 90 days, we sold over $75,000.
And we paid how much for the unit?
$50.
I think we overpaid.
I'm not going to say that, dude. We did really, really well. So pay attention to our website. We're going to try and we have not been posting a lot of videos because we've been so busy just listing items on eBay. Our next video is going to talk about Pulp Fiction. We've got a lot of Pulp Fiction novels dating back to like the 1890s that are hitting our website, some of which have already sold. That's going to be our next video.
We got The Shadow, The Avengers, we have Detective Comics, we have War Aces that are already gone and sold.
Weird stories.
From
the 1930s.
Argosy.
We've got a lot.
Blue Book.
So anyways, follow us. Take a look. We've got a lot of stuff coming up that we're super excited about. Just keep it up, buddy.